Yo, welcome back 5-9 gamers. It is the next episode of the Dokkan Battle podcast, episode 42, the Big Six. I am your host for this evening, the Masked Ningen, and joining me for tonight's podcast, we have the free-to-play king himself, Jphanta.
Hello.
We have our boy, the Yellow Flash, Minato.
Hello.
We have Saito Raijin.
I like vegetables.
And we have the boss man himself, Mr. Nolar.
What's going on, everybody?
So yeah, here we are, episode 42, the 6th anniversary still in full swing. Obviously, we are coming to the closing of part 1. Part 2, obviously, scheduled to start in a couple of days. So in terms of part 1, I guess for you JP guys, you experienced the anniversary a while ago. It's only Saito and I currently for today's episode who are the global mains. So Saito, how's the anniversary been for you so far for part 1?
I got everybody but one. I ain't gonna say who it is, but it's been treating me right. It's been treating me right.
Must be nice.
wait, hold on. Wait a minute. So wait, is that the anniversary not treating you right? What's good here? Let me give you some of this luck. Hold on. Here, look, listen.
To this man.
I mean, yeah, so this wasn't even on the list of topics, but I feel like we could segue into this. So, since I did make a video about it today. So, Dokkan Battle does not have a pity system. Thoughts?
Need one. Need a real one. Because
Yeah.
I think some of us do need it.
Seeing people go like 2,000 plus stones, 3,000 plus stones without the new copy of the unit is just not right, in my opinion. Especially for like an anniversary or something. It's like the red coins are nice, but then some of those units don't return for 6 months. Or like think of like Worldwide Celebration on Global, and then those units don't return until the anniversary, like 10, 11 months later. It just, it's annoying, honestly, for some people, and I can definitely see it.
Yeah, especially global, like we talked about this on the previous episode. Obviously, Vegito and Bootanks returned on the anniversary banners, but for global, the first banner they were on, or the only other banner they were on, was like 11 months ago. So if you were unable to pull them from their debut banners, this is the first time you've been able to pick them up. And then obviously, if you didn't get them this time, they should return soon, because they will probably be on the next Worldwide Celebration banner. But that is quite a long time. So, yeah, pity. I already saw somebody in the chat mention red coins. Red coins is not a pity system because you can't get the new unit with red coins when they first release. So
You can make it.
Huh?
I would say make it like the newest, unit be like double the amount of red coins or something.
No, that's legitimately how I would say if they were going to keep the coin system. Just say instead of 500 coins when they come back, you can only get one copy once, 1,000 red coins, 1,000 gold coins, whatever, and that's it. And then off you go.
I feel like another thing they could do is if you spend a certain amount of stones on the banner, then, after a certain amount, you'll be able to buy them with coins, like one copy, so that you could say, like, if you go like 1.5k stones in or something like that, and if you don't get the new unit, it'll basically allow you to buy the new unit once, and then you could do it multiple times. Maybe that could work, and it can make it more so of an actual traditional pity system in a sense, where they try to promote you to summon, and then if you summon enough, you don't get the unit, you'll be able to guarantee it.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously, we've been discussing it quite a lot. I discussed it in the chat of the stream that I did last night. Because for those of you who are not up to date, I am now at this point 3,500 stones into Vegeta's banner with 0 copies of Vegeta pulled. And like Minato said, especially when it comes to something like an anniversary, yeah, that's not what you want. Like, you think about, for someone in the comments actually of the video I made today, like if you're somebody who's free to play or doesn't really spend much on the game, you might not even have 3,500 stones in an entire year. So to go that many on like one banner and still not pull a single copy of the unit is insane. I don't think I've seen a single valid argument for why there wouldn't be a pity system at this point. Because there's multiple different ways they could do it. Even though there's something Minato touched on just now as well. Even if it was something like there was only one copy that was guaranteed after like a certain number of summons. Because the mega whales, people like Truth, Calc, all these kind of people that will just keep summoning until the unit is rainbowed, regardless of how many stones it takes. They're a very small percentage of the player base. And so even if you can get one copy guaranteed, like those people are still going to keep summoning to get the extra copies. Whereas obviously that's going to potentially help out quite a lot of people. So I don't know. Nolar, you summon a lot. You play a lot of other gacha games. What do you think on this this whole thing?
So the thing is, if you want to do a strictly pity for the banner thing, you know, you look at what Legends just implemented. The thing is, like, Dokkan's a PvE game. It's going to be kind of difficult. I'm going to say difficult, but they're going to have to really rearrange stuff to make it work. So, like, if you wanted to say 2,500 stones, okay, cool. Maybe you don't get red coins, but you get, like, anniversary units, coins in this case, right? Like, Vegeta coins or whatever. And then after 2,500 stones, you don't get it. You get one copy. That's it. And then at the end of if let's say I pulled them early and I only needed 500 coins, those Vegeta coins could turn into red coins, right? Like that's an example. That's a system they would do, but they would have to implement and just like change the code around a little bit. It's not difficult. It's just something they have to do. I agree. I mean, I went 16.5K to Rainbow the Blue Boys last year. I mean, you know, and I went about 5,000 plus without a copy in between somewhere. So
crazy.
like I understand that a pity would be great. I just don't know how they would implement it. I like their gacha coin system is interesting because it carries over, and very few gacha games have a pity. Well, this is like the weak pity is what I call it. That carries over, right? Like Genshin has it. Dokkan's the only one I can think of. I know there's a few other ones that have it, but they're very small, so it's kind of inconsequential. Every other gacha game, it's like, oh, you want this unit for sure, guaranteed. You got to go all in on this banner. So it depends on how you guys want to play it. They want to go left, and you guys want them to go right. Well, they could, but it's gonna have to be a lot of changes, and you might not like it. Like you might have to go 5K just to guarantee a copy. I mean, I would assume at that point, yes, you deserve it, but I don't know. That's just how I see pity systems in general, and with Dokkan. I know the buzz right now is with Legends and all the other games that have it, but yeah, sorry, 3.5K Ningen. It sucks, but
Yeah,
first time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Somebody worked it out. So obviously, because it's the anniversary banners as well. So because we get the 3+1, so every time you do 150 stones, you get another multi for free. And then each of those paid multis gives you 3 tickets. So once you've done, I guess technically it's 4 multis, it gives you enough to do another multi for free. So somebody added it up. It's the equivalent of somewhere between 120 and 130 multi-summons on the banner. So it's pretty crazy, like, to have not pulled the unit in that many stones. And that's the thing, like, obviously the topic came up because I'm pretty salty about it, but a lot of people were sharing like their kinds of experiences, and it's very easy for people to just hand wave it and be like, well, you know, that's gacha games, it's RNG, you don't get them sometimes. But like, that's the kind of luck that like makes people quit playing the game sometimes. Obviously not me, but and people will quit the game over less than that. So I think there's like, I see arguments made on both sides, because obviously they want to make money, so they want you to keep buying stones and summoning. But then on the flip side, like, people who do get massively shafted, especially if you think free-to-play players, if you've managed to resist the temptations of like all the Dokkan fests throughout the year, all the legendary summon banners, and you get to the anniversary and you've managed to save up like 2,000 or 3,000 stones, and you can still go through all of them and not pull the new unit that you've basically put off a year's worth of summoning for, that is pretty wild. But there you go. I mean, it's something that a lot of games have. Dokkan is, if we look at the JP version, we're like over 6.5 years old game now. So I don't know if it's, I mean, Legends, like you said, has recently implemented something like that, and it hasn't been around as long as Dokkan, but obviously has been around for a while before they finally decided to put it in. So who knows? I guess it's a never say never kind of situation, but I don't think it's something I could see happening anytime soon. So maybe Jphanta had it right all along, and we just shouldn't summon at all.
Can I just say, like, shouts to everybody that contributed to your stream. That was awesome to see. Like,
Yeah, that was
you know,
very cool.
the
Shout out to
donations, that
anyone
was
who
awesome.
was here. Yeah, there was a lot of love and support. I very much appreciated it, and people in the chat were going absolutely wild on my behalf. Like the number of people when we got towards the end of the stream that were just putting comments like, "I literally cannot believe that this is happening." But I mean, like Nolar said, Nolar's gone similar sorts of numbers before, but yeah, it's pretty brutal. So. But yeah, I mean, other than that, part 1 has been a lot of fun. Obviously, the God event is the new difficult event on Global. The new, I guess, on JP, right, it's still considered like the hardest event in the game for a number of reasons.
I agree.
And we have part 2, as I say, obviously about to start very soon. That gives us the next 4 stages of the God event, which is it's Arak, Beerus, Jphanta, and Liquor. So for the JP boys, out of those 4
Liquor,
stages,
what
are they? Which of those do you think is the most difficult? Which one is the easiest? Like, what are we in for over here for these next 4 stages?
I think Beerus is probably the hardest one out of the next 4. The biggest reason is because he changes type. I think he also lowers defense in his int phase as well. But yeah, he's kind of annoying and he hits pretty hard. I think the easiest one would be, I forgot his name, but I think it's the 5th stage where he's STR. He just lowers your attack, and I think he might be able to stun you, but it's not really that much of an issue, honestly, because it's just a chance. That's what I personally feel, though.
Yeah, because obviously Helez was a boss that did change typings, but she cycled through all the various different typings. Whereas Beerus is just one, isn't it? He starts off as int, and then changes to STR. So obviously, a lot of the other gods who are one typing all the way through, a very good strategy is to bring a very strong mono team. Obviously, there's certain category teams that can kind of just beat any of them anyway. But yeah, for Beerus, you definitely do not want to bring a full physical team because
I think I'm sorry about that, but yeah, because he changes typings like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one also you want to kind of keep watch out for is the 8th stage against Liquor. The reason for that is because he could double super and he could also stun you, so he could be pretty dangerous. And I believe he also has the option to lower defense with the super attack. So if you get double super defense lowered, pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that's something that we've seen for like some of the harder battlefield bosses, like when Jiren first came out and stuff like that. If they lower your defense with a super attack, obviously if you're unlucky enough for that to be the first attack in like a slot of maybe 2 or 3, obviously the following attacks are going to do a lot more damage. And if he could super attack you twice in one turn, then that definitely seems like that one could be a little bit interesting. And Nolar, what's your experience with these boys?
I haven't done too much. I've probably ran them once. I haven't touched them since. I've been too busy with other stuff. But like, I think Minato is right with Beerus is probably the most challenging one out of the next 3. Just again, lowering defense sucks no matter what. And again, I was gonna make a thing about Battlefield. Omega sucks ass. It's just supering on slot 1 with multiple attacks, and lock your units to 1 to 2 of them straight up. It's just BS. I have never. I'm sorry, I have to go off on this, but I've never restarted a Battlefield ever before until now. Like I've never done that. So that tells you how you just get screwed by RNG. Absolutely.
I hate Omega too, dude.
Yeah, I've had to restart a couple of times because it's just like, dude, I just got cucked on absolutely everything possible, and But anyways, back to the God event. I mean, it's a challenge. The only downside to it, I think we mentioned this last time on other podcasts, was just you only get 3 shots at it. So if RNG just really, really screws you on phase 1 or 2, like what can you do, right? And it's not your fault. It's just the way the game is. But it's like, why don't you give me unlimited tries? But I don't know. It's not like the rewards are like fantastic, right? So, but that's my thoughts on that.
I guess the
just
overall
run double
reward.
boda.
Go on.
Just run double boda Magetta.
So
Easy.
How have the God event stages been for you then, Jay? Have you beaten them all?
Yep, I'm there. I'm done.
Have you actually beaten some of them, or
Nah, not on global, nah.
have you not beaten any of them?
No, I have not. I will try. Who's the next physical one? The next physical one, I will give it an
Sidra.
attempt. Yeah, I'll
which
give
is in
Sidra an
part
attempt.
3. So what about on JP? Because obviously they're all out on
JP,
JP.
I cheesed it with Boda Bagetta.
Oh, there you go. Wait, is he a free-to-play unit?
Let's move on to the next topic.
Interesting.
Wow, you
Well, Saito-
betrayed your Nindo, dude.
Well, Saito, how's the experience of the God event been for you?
They all got stomped. That's it. They
Okay.
all got stomped.
Sounds like you had a good time in this anniversary.
Well, I say that Goku's banner did treat me a little bad, but I ended up getting them. One took like I don't know 1,500 and all the tickets, but got them. But the God Destruction events, oh yeah, they got laid out, and then I went back and then I cheesed them with the Hybrid Saiyans.
Okay.
Oh, I love that team in that stage.
Yeah, Hybrid Saiyans
Actually,
is a team that
with
I
the
feel
hybrid-
like anyone. You could do like any of the stages pretty much with the right build, right?
Yeah,
I mean, with the hybrids team, I know I involve with the stages just for fun, so
Yeah.
it's definitely it's a pretty good team to run in there.
Yeah, because the
Now we
fact
use
that
new
like
God
it's
Destruction. Oh.
such a wide category with so many units, and then obviously using Gohan as the leader, it doesn't matter what typing the enemy is because he guards. So
Exactly.
you could just
And that helps significantly. Yeah.
Especially in the space in the bosses that change type like Ellis and Beerus. It just doesn't really matter because he's guards anyway, so he's like, okay.
my name's Gohan. Nice to meet you.
it still baffles me that there are people out there that call that unit bad. Crazy.
Well, he doesn't do 16
Well,
billion
yeah, he doesn't do like a
damage.
6 million attacks down turn 1, so obviously he's bad. Even though, yeah,
he's not
you can
Blue
beat
Cow Ken,
any
dude.
god event with his team, but obviously he's bad.
He's not Blue Cow Ken, so he's trash. I'm sorry.
All right, so one of the other things, of course, that comes along with part 2, which might make the God event stages a little bit easier for some people, I guess, because not only is he a great unit, but he's a very big improvement overall to his category team, which is, of course, the Easy A for Int UI Goku. So not only does the unit become much better, obviously, that's what Easy A's are for, but he arguably becomes the best Realm of Gods category leader. So what do you guys think on JP, those of you that have actually used him? So Int UI Goku, I hear people talking about placing him pretty highly amongst the summonable like TUR Easy A's. So what do you guys think of Int UI Goku post Easy A?
I loved
I
him.
definitely, yeah, I agree with you, Jphanta. I really like the unit. I feel like he definitely does deserve to be up there. I would say he's more sort of a, just clear. You look at his details and you're like, dang, he's good. He's just straightforward. He stacks. I do personally think he's probably the best Realm of Gods leader because I like having the extra. Even though you lose like a little bit of stats, you get a lot more HP too, and he just works better with the team. He's on like a billion category teams, great link set. Just there's not too much bad about him at all, honestly. Just very good.
Yeah, short. He's great on all stages, right? SBR, ESBR, long events too, because he stacks. So overall, he's like a fantastic unit. Now, I mean, it might sound a little blasphemous, but he's great. He's just not super exciting, if that makes sense to you guys. But as a unit that's 3 years old now, right? 3.5 years old. I can't remember how old he is now. It's great to see him get an Easy A and be useful. It's another good option. Probably one of the best linking partners for UI Goku, the LR. So, yeah, pretty good.
I think the best thing is just that turn 1, like when he transforms, that just guaranteed
dodging.
dodge that turn
Yep.
is insane. And then the fact that even though when he transforms, he'll still be able to leak with the AGL1 because of how the transformation things works.
Yep.
It's very nice.
Yeah, 100% chance to dodge is it's pretty strong for everyone who uses Tech Caulifla in like every single EZA will tell you. So, I mean, it's funny because every time I do a video about EZAs, I try and lay out like all of these units. It's like, here's the team you should use. Here's some great units. And then someone guaranteed in the comments will always be, you forgot to mention Tech Caulifla. Because, yeah, that 100% chance to dodge, very, very powerful. And obviously, you know, it's very fitting for Ultra Instinct, but, you know, they can't make a unit that powerful have 100% dodge all the time. So I do think that mechanic is very cool, that on the transformation turn he has that 100% chance to dodge. But since we have talked a lot about summonable units, I don't want you to feel left out, Jphanta. So obviously the free-to-play units in part 2 are getting the next stage of their awakenings. All of the free-to-play units from the Universe Survival Saga are getting awakenings to TURs. They're not getting their EZAs yet, but also Roshi becomes an LR. So tell us about these units. What do you think of them post-awakening, but pre-EZA?
Okay. Post-awakening, pre-EZA, I think Roshi is definitely still runnable. He's still, even without his EZA, he, like, what is he losing? Like a little bit of support. He doesn't actually get too much from his EZA, so he's actually really good. You can use him once you get his LR, sorry. And then the TURs just, they still need a little bit of upgrading before, so the EZA is going to make them really, really good. So TURs, they're not really crazy yet.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit strange. I don't know how you guys felt about it, obviously, when the anniversary came on JP. It seems like, aside from Roshi, like the free-to-play cards, they drop in part 1, they get a TUR Awakening in part 2, and then they get their EZA in part 3. But like, it feels like you probably aren't really even going to run them until they get their EZA. So it seems kind of like a weird way of structuring it.
It's like, it's just what they've been doing recently. They just like, you know, instant EZA units. I personally don't like that they do that because it kind of ruins the point of an EZA, in my opinion. But I feel like these units, like, obviously because they're meant to EZA, so they're not fully complete, which is why you're like kind of like, oh, they're kind of not really that great. Like the Roshi and Tien, in fact, like they're kind of okay right now, I guess. But when they awaken, they become really good. Same with the Krillin and the Goku. The UI Goku. Roshi, I feel like like Jphanta said, he's solid right now. But when he EZAs, he definitely gets some nice buffs that really, I feel like, round out his unit to make him as good as he is.
Because as soon as he becomes an LR, that's when he picks up the revival skill, isn't he? He has that pre-EZA. So I feel like for a lot of free-to-play players, that definitely is going to be very helpful. That at least pre-EZA, he has those abilities. But yeah, what did you say, no or true, Jphanta, when Minato was saying that about the free-to-play EZAs?
About
like units that come out and just get an
EZAing.
EZA straight away.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, pretty pointless, right? Yeah.
I was gonna add this. Like, I don't like that because all they do is they just design the unit with that end goal in mind and just use EZA as a function of content. You know what I mean? When the purpose of an EZA, at least to me, was content, but it was really to improve an outdated unit to be used in the current landscape of the game. So like, why it feels really weird for them to do that. It's just like, just release an awakening. Like, I understand farming them and then awakening them in part 2, but then releasing the EZA when like that's the end goal design in mind, that just feels really scummy to me.
Yeah, you just made like a peak of the character, and now you can't really expect them to grow in the future when they do need it. Yeah.
Not a fan of that, the way they conduct themselves there with that.
It's like they take away the ability for those units, you know, to like in 2-3 years, like other units would have the ability to EZA and, you know, become relevant again. Those units don't have the opportunity, which is unfortunate, but it's what they're going with. Again, I agree with everyone. I don't like the way they handle it.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously, I agree with what Nolar was saying. Like, the whole point of an EZA is to take one of those units that you can't really run anymore and then make them runnable again. So, it kind of just feels like they're designing these free-to-play units and their awakenings, but they're sort of deliberately selling them short and then just giving them an easy A straight away. Whereas instead they could make the Awakening to TUR actually good enough to run. And then in the future, that would give them the possibility to easy A them. Although I suppose the only counter argument I can think of that is because they're free to play, so you just farm them up. You don't have to summon for them. I guess it's not as bad if a year from now they're not really usable because they're just going to bring out another free-to-play unit that you can farm up that potentially replaces them. But it does seem weird because, it seems like they're just doing that as a mechanic, like you say, almost for no reason, just for like a little bit of extra content. But then most people don't like Extreme Z areas anyway, which is how all the free-to-play units are getting their Awakenings. So, so yeah, of course, Roshi, pretty damn good. Obviously, they're all going to get their easy A's in part 3, but I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail when part 3 is closer to the actual release. So, the other thing we have coming with part 2, which again should also release, I think Monday is the date. I say Monday for me, I think it might be Sunday night, depending where you are in the US, is we are going to get a new stage of Infinite Dragon Ball History, which is the Warriors of Universe 7 stage. If I remember rightly, so this is another one of those ones. Obviously, every Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, when it drops, there is 2 missions for beating the stage with 3 units from a specific category. And I know I always try and do it. A lot of people like to try and get that done in one run, because it is possible to do that with, I think, all of them so far, although some of the teams are a little bit wonky. This one is 3 units from Universe 6 and 3 units from Universe 11. So did any of you guys do the one run for that, or what teams did you use? If you did multiple runs, how did you find it?
I mean, at the time, I didn't actually have the LR Tech Jiren, so I struggled with it, I feel like, a little bit. But, you know, if you have him and, you know, like, in trouble Fry Trooper, Cal Leaflet's not pretty difficult at all, honestly. In terms of beating it with one team, I feel like it's very doable.
Did you feel like...
I don't remember how I did mine. I couldn't tell you. I probably did 2 teams just to make 2 videos out of it at the time. But yeah, I had Tech Jiren, so that was easy.
I'm trying to think of how you would build the team, because obviously if you have Tech Jiren, his leader skill is obviously Universe 11, but then also the secondary leader skill is Universe Survival Saga, so he would be the best leader for the one team run. If you don't have him, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. STR Jiren.
That's what I did. That's what I did for it.
Because how does STR Jiren doesn't feel like he holds up in super hard content to me somehow, but I guess I mean, as being someone who
really good.
I mean, he's definitely good for things like Super Battle Road and stuff still.
Yeah.
But yeah, Infinite Dragon Ball History, obviously you can't stun. I'm not sure what his maximum defense is like when it gets to the end of those kind of events, but that'll be interesting to see. So I mean, if you don't have Tech LR Jiren, he's probably the best friend unit to bring because it encompasses everyone on the team. But of course, I know a lot of people just like to do them in 2 runs anyway, so that gives you a lot more flexibility. And of course, you know, I guess technically it's more content if you want to run through it twice. So in terms of new events, I think that is everything for part 2. Obviously, one other thing that comes in part 2, now this just to clarify, doesn't release with all this other stuff on Monday. It will be 1 more week away. And that is, of course, the Anniversary Classic, the top legendary summon banner. So every year for the anniversary, we get an LR banner in part 2 that releases 2 new LRs. This year we have the Int 17 that awakens into the Team Universe 7, and then the physical Frieza that awakens into Frieza and 17. So obviously, with anniversaries, we don't really ever see the banners change, so it should be exactly the same. What are our thoughts about the legendary summon banner?
Skip.
Yippity skip.
Skip.
Yeah, easy skip.
Don't summon, guys. Please.
We don't believe
not
in
worth it.
skipping.
Oh, Saito, you going in on the LR banner?
Hey, man, look, I don't believe in skipping. That's just me.
Oh, that
Okay.
is He's balling. He's balling.
He's going
Every
wild
banner
out
gets
here.
a one and done. That's the meta. That's the mode. One and dones.
I mean,
mean-
if you can get lucky enough, then hey,
The
why not?
only the only
The
way
Dokkan
I
gods.
would say the only time I would say not to skip is if you really, really, really like 17, you know, then maybe you can go in, throw a couple of stones or multis at it if you want. Like if 17 is your favorite character, because you know you're gonna have fun with the unit. But outside of that, it's like they're just each of them are on like what 4 teams, and then they're just really restrictive.
Yeah.
And the banner itself just sucks.
Oh yes.
True. It's not as bad as that one. What banner did JP get? Y'all just got a banner that was just horrendous.
The LR Goku and Piccolo?
Goku and
Like a
Piccolo?
month ago?
That y'all, that banner was horrendous.
No, yeah, that was a bad banner, but
I mean, where
Yeah.
are they not?
it's a good point.
You could summon for the 17 if you feel like you're gonna struggle on Go Freeze's Easy A. Just a thought.
True.
That is true.
I mean, that's a thought,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, also, at the very least, if you got, like, say, if you got both the 6th anniversary units, you'll have those tickets still. So if you just want to use those free tickets on the banner, the free version, then that's also fine as well.
Oh, the rainbow tickets, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so rainbow tickets, obviously we've been collecting them for a little while from logins and missions. It's once the banner actually comes out, the top legendary summon banner, that's when you're then able to use the rainbow
Yep.
tickets. You can use them on the LR banner, or you can use them on the Goku banner or the Vegeta banner, because the top legendary summon banner comes out and the rainbow tickets become usable. I think it's like right after, it might be like an hour or 2 gap, I think, but it comes out right after the discount timer runs out. So obviously the 3+1 goes away on the banners. They just return to normal 50 stones for a multi, and that's your lot. But you are able to use the rainbow tickets. So what do you think? I think basically everybody said skip. So I guess maybe try your rainbow tickets on the LR banner, or I guess if you're in my situation, I'm considering just using the rainbow tickets on the Vegeta banner.
I mean,
I'm not
Yep.
too sure exactly what I'm gonna do.
I promise you,
yeah.
you're gonna pull Vegeta. I promise you. Before these discounts are gone, right? The 3 and freeze, you're going to get them. I'm putting that on the record, right?
Before
what
the
I would
discounts
say
are
is-
gone. Ooh.
Like,
With
for
what
me, with
stones?
the tickets, that's how I actually got my copy of
Let me guess a stone number. 600. We're gonna get it before
600 stones. Huh?
600 stones. I mean,
Okay.
so let me show you the luck. All right, I'm gonna show you. I got it.
Yeah. Okay, bud.
All right. Rub my hands together.
I mean, I think the tickets are really good, though, at the very least. That's how I got my copy of Int 17, the Universe 7 LR.
Oh, nice.
So it's definitely like possible, of course, to get an LR from it. I think a lot of people actually ended up getting LRs from those tickets, which is nice.
Yeah, I
Maybe
did.
like
I saw a
7
lot of
pulls of
screenshots
5 characters.
on Twitter of people getting them from the rainbow tickets.
Mhm.
So yeah, rainbow tickets. Good luck, I guess, for whichever banner you choose to use them on. I feel like it's probably worth using them on the Dokkan Fest banners if you haven't pulled one of the 2 units, more so than the LR banner, just because the LR banner, you know, by merit of being a legendary summon banner, is not particularly good. All the other LRs are on there, of course. So I mean, you know, you could use a rainbow ticket and walk away with LR Turles. So I guess it's a very tough decision to make, but there you go. It's I think I'm probably going to end up using mine on the Vegeta banner, but I guess we'll have to see. But yes,
Imagine going 3.5k stones in, and then you just get them on a free ticket.
that'd be great.
Well-
Anger. Raw anger.
Well, at that point, he won't care. He'd be like, well, I got him.
Yeah.
I'm relieved that it's over.
Yep.
But for us, we'd be like, damn. Sorry.
The
sucks,
pop
dude.
off would be insane. You jump out of your chair into the roof.
But yeah, so that is going to be it for the part 2 stuff. Obviously, there's plenty more to come with part 3, but that's going to be a little ways away. So we are going to move on to JP. So one of the big things that's happened on JP, obviously we talked a lot about the release of Gogeta in the previous episode. We have had a ton of Easy A's release over the last couple of weeks. We have an Easy A for the LR Kid, Goku, and Bulma, the Super Battle Road reward, because of course 10 new stages of Extreme Super Battle Road released on JP, which, not that I'm counting or anything, puts JP 20 Super Battle Road stages ahead of Global, which is always nice.
A superior version, that's why.
So yeah, those of you who have tackled some of these stages already, what are your thoughts about the new ESBR stages?
You could
Nightmare.
definitely tell they like made them harder than the previous ones. Like they made them hit way harder, especially like the Universe Survival Saga, movie bosses, Pure Saiyans like type stages like that, even Giant Form. They're all very difficult compared to the other stages, and I think it's nice. I was kind of blown back. I was like, oh dang, I got hit with a 200k normal. That's pretty nice. So they're definitely very difficult, and you know, I feel like when people on global get the stages, it may be a little easier depending on what kind of units come out, but
Yeah.
even then it still might like kind of blow you away in a sense.
I used double damage reduction, double wheeze, and I still took some massive damage. Like it's not double digits at all for
Damn.
my free-to-play teams. It's kind of crazy.
So which ones have you tried? Have you beaten any of? Well, I'm guessing
I've-
you've probably done Ginyu Force, right? Because that is the
Yeah,
free-to-play one.
Ginyu Force, and I've beaten Transformation Boost.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, I think
I was trying Universe
Nice.
Survival Saga, and you need some. I need insane luck for that
I was
one.
gonna say, what's the
The-
free-to-play Universe Survival Saga team like then? That sounds interesting.
Every single unit that you get from the 60th anniversary.
Damn.
So make sure you farm it all.
Well, there you go. You heard it there, guys. Make sure you're getting these free-to-play units farmed up. So, Nolar, have you done any of them yet?
I just did Ginyu Force because I was kind of curious. Like, did they tune up the difficulty much? And the only thing they tuned up was just HP.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just
I
harder.
agree.
It's just more to chew through than more damage you have to go through, right? So, but just fine. Not a big deal. I haven't had a chance to really sit down with all the other ones, but from what I've been seeing and hearing from people, it is a step up. But it kind of makes sense because all of our new units have been like seriously power crept, right? Like just look at what we have compared to before. Like LR Jiren, 200% attack and defense from beginning of turn. I mean, it makes sense that they're gonna make USS a lot harder than before, right? So, but yeah, so this is endgame content, right? That's the point. So we gotta buckle in, boys.
So yeah, Minato, did you say, have you beaten all of them yet, or have you? More ones?
Yes.
You have. So have you had a chance to try out the fully easy aid Goku and Bulma yet?
I have the medals from. I actually haven't tried them out yet. I was gonna try them out later today, but like if we're looking at the unit itself, I feel like they definitely got a nice buff, but they're pretty much the same unit, just with higher
Yes.
stats
Yeah.
as they were pre-ZA. 'Cause
Same
that's
issues.
Basically what they did. Pretty much. They just want to be
Yeah.
on a very specific team with a very specific setup, and a lot of the units on those teams are like aged out now, especially compared to where they were before. Because those teams haven't necessarily gotten too many like DB Saga, Youth, Dragon Ball Seekers, haven't really gotten too many, spectacular units, you could say. So that's the issue with that unit there. I feel like if you build the team around them, they could be nice though. Like they could do pretty nice numbers.
Yeah, because if I remember rightly from when they first released, I remember seeing like the specific team build that you could put together at the time to get like the maximum possible stacks of their passive. And yeah, like you said, some of those units now, probably not units that you want to be running in much harder content. So yeah, the Easy A seems nice on paper, at least for me to look at, in terms of how they've tuned up their various stats and everything. The fact that they raise attack and defense on both their super attacks obviously seems like it would be very useful for harder content. But yeah, the downside does seem to be the fact that they're not just a unit that, you beat all the stages of Extreme Super Battle Road, you get to Easy A this unit, and then, like you see, you can only really use them on like one team. So it's a little bit disappointing. I think they definitely seem to be going the right way with the trunks that released with the previous set of stages, in the sense that they've released a unit that can actually be used on a few different teams and is actually very useful. But
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much. Because Bulma doesn't like a tag in the card, I guess, which is why they left her out of the name. Or she doesn't really interact. She kind of drives, but I don't know. I think that is beneficial for the card that he doesn't have Bulma in the name because of the teams. Like it's because it's this Goku youth and Bulma youth. They're on like 4 teams and they're just kind of restricted based on their passive. So just throwing a bunch of those units together, which I explained pretty much the issue for that.
If we got more DB Saga units, or maybe a new Dokkan Fest, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
They could be
DB
used
Saga and even Dragon Ball Seekers feel like they've been left untouched for quite some time. Like we've seen some decent buffs to youth with some of the newer Gotenkses, like the Dokkan Fest Goten and Trunks and stuff like that. But those other 2 categories seems like they haven't really had any love in a while.
Like if you get like a new Dokkan Fest Goku, or something like that, that can definitely drastically help this unit out based on like the links they have and their passive.
So there is, of course, one more LR EZA, although, however, the details for that is unknown. That is the LR Saiyaman 1 and 2. So we briefly talked about them last week, but I remember, Jay, you were not here, and I seem to remember seeing you had some comments about the Saiyaman 1 and 2 EZA and how you feel about that whole situation.
Oh, yeah, about the using hero extermination EZAs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it. That's just my honest opinion. It's not because I can't do it, or like in terms of my rule set. I just feel like it's kind of dodgy where it was like a free-to-play card to begin with, and now I have to like use stones to pull, which could end up leading to using money in order to actually run the events. But luckily the wish strips are here, so I was able to build a team, and I am going to get them. So
Nice,
and
so
then
it is
just barbara
doable.
all my
still
EZAs.
Technically free to play then, I guess.
Yeah, with wish strips, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't here for the last one with regards to using the hero extermination thing. I don't think it's like that bad because all those units is really old. So, if you're just like, if you're not like just not using stones at all, like if you're of course spending stones, which most free-to-play players would use all the free-to-play stones that they have, then it's a good chance that you'll have some of those units there. And after the EZA, they're pretty solid. And there's a nice amount of roster of the characters in there. So I don't think it's, again, the worst thing ever. I would have preferred if they did something like EZA, the Ginyu Force or whatever. And then use those units for that. Just make it strictly free to play. But I don't think it's like the worst thing ever in the world.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing. It's just that I felt like it's a little snaky-esque.
Did you feel
I can see
targeted?
it.
You were personally attacked.
Yeah, it's like Vegito
specifically
Blue
designed
all
on
over
the
again.
This man's money. Oh wait, no, he has strips. No.
Yeah, because I guess Minato did, as he pointed out, there's not a lot of people that follow the same sort of rule set or whatever you want to call it that the free-to-play King over here does. So most of you probably will have summoned at some point, even if you've never bought stones. So it will be not quite as difficult. But yeah, the wish strips, having a lot of those units available is definitely useful.
If it's really difficult, the event, and you need like 100%, I'd be mad. That's the line. If you need like them to be 100% or like 79 or duped out, that's too much.
Oh no. Oh, then you really got targeted then.
They came straight up for you.
They've been watching you.
Okay, so we've had a whole bunch more EZAs. There's 2 more upcoming that we don't yet know about, which is the physical Super Saiyan Vegeta and the physical Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Just briefly, any thoughts, any hopes on what you want to see for the EZAs for those 2 units?
I hope that, just brief, I hope the Vegeta kind of is like Omega-esque, like with his attack luring maybe.
Yep.
I hope the Gohan is similar to like the S tier Android 18 that came out with the Goten and Trunks EZA. I feel like that would be really cool for them.
Yeah, because I'm really looking forward to seeing what the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan one is going to be like, because I've said a few times before in the past, I really love the Super Saiyan 2 team, running the Tech Vegeta, just running like the full Super Saiyan 2's only like team. The only problem is that team doesn't really have support units that are good enough for more difficult content. There's the Easy A Super Saiyan 2 Gokus are pretty good, but obviously, you know, especially pre same name update, you can only bring one of those. And then there is the Super Saiyan 2 STR Saiyaman, but he's only a support type for super units. And obviously the Vegeta transforms into Majin Vegeta, becomes extreme, and one of his best link partners and another solid unit to use is the STR Easy A Majin Vegeta. So of course, if you're bringing a support unit that only supports super types, then one of your rotations is not getting any support from that unit. So I'm looking forward to that Gohan, because for quite a while, he was one of the units that had one of the highest support passives, because his 35%, isn't it? So until we started seeing more commonly units having 40, and obviously the couple that have 50, his support was really, really good, but he just became outdated fairly quickly in terms of, like, you know, the fact that he's just not very good defensively. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he is going to be like. So the final topic that we have, which is, if you've been paying attention to Twitter at all over the last couple of days, you've probably seen people talking about this. It's always in the morning for me. I don't know how late it is for you guys, but it seems like for the last few days in a row, we've been expecting news on the Part 2 LR for the Tanabata celebration, which is, I think at this point, it's what, like 99% confirmed that it's going to be some kind of Janemba, or like 95% maybe. But we're still yet to see any information about it whatsoever. So I think, Minato, I've seen you tweet some stuff about it. What are your thoughts on this whole Janemba situation? What's going on? Please explain it to us.
So a lot of us thought it was maybe going to come out like around the 16th or so, because of how Jiren released last year, like maybe with the Super Battle Road stages. But obviously that did not happen. After looking into it, I saw that the Blue Goku and Vegeta banner, like, that ended, and then the minute it ended, the LR Jiren banner came up. While this year, the Gogeta banner doesn't end until the 20th. So it could be the same thing where Janemba banner goes up right on the 20th, right as actual Gogeta banner ends, which would make sense. I think we're definitely going to see information within the next 3 days, in my opinion. But honestly, it could be any time. For all we know, it could be like an hour or two, and they drop the information, or it could be like in a day from now. It's really weird. They've just been trying to. You can tell Akatsuki has been trying to kind of go back and forth with their release times. I guess trying to keep us on our toes. I personally don't like it. I'd rather prefer just a consistent type of thing, because sometimes they do like 1 a.m. Pacific. Sometimes it's like 8 p.m. at night. Where I'm at, it's really random and weird.
Yeah, with the Tanabata, the one thing I can say is like, I do think they like to be like clockwork and have things happen, but there's sometimes, like, look at the 6 year for Global, right? The release times on stuff was not the same as it normally is, right? So I guess whenever they try to time stuff, it's normally the same, but when you got special events like Tanabata and stuff like that, it's just different for that. And so that sucks on our end, because we like to know what's going on. And right now, we're still waiting to hear about Janemba. The only thing we know, reason why we're all thinking it's Janemba, is because I think I seriously replied to Dokkan's like one of official tweets with a image of Janemba. And everyone's like, okay, that must be it. That's got to be it.
Well,
I'm like, okay, cool.
He also followed up with, he said it's not speculation. So
okay. With that said, I kind of want to speculate how this Janemba would work, because we've already got the fat Janemba, and then we got the 2 Dokkan Fest ones. So is it just, it's gonna start out as the dude and that transforms into fat Janemba to start off with? You know, like, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know how they're gonna play this out, but like, I mean, I know same name update makes it possible to get all the Janembas on the team, right? But when you're thinking of like linking and rotations and stuff, like, how do you think they're going to make this Janemba?
I think if they just make it like a straight up Super Janemba and they give him Rainbow Orb changing, that would kind of help fix the issue with, like, you know, if we want to run all 3 Super Janembas on the team. It'll help tech Janemba out, so I feel like that would be a very important part. Other than that, pretty much just guard is what I would also like. Apart from that, anything else would be fine for me. His leader skill though, I feel like it's interesting to think about what it could be if they maybe even introduce a new category for him, make him a transformation boost lead.
Yeah, because I think that isn't that one of them. I think that's one of the few complaints because especially Super Janembas are normally very, very good in Dokkan, but they're just not on a huge amount of categories. So I think it would be cool if the new one does lead a new category, which would then obviously all the other Janembas would go on to. Maybe he'll have two. Like it'd be cool if he leads a new one and then has a secondary one. As I've said many times in the past, I like it when they have the two different categories and it's a nice mix that you can actually make like an interesting team. So I think I think somebody tweeted it out. I think it was Ignorant, but I'm not sure because knowing what Ignorant is like, I'm not sure if it was a copy pasta or not. But I've seen a lot of people saying, and I do kind of agree that if they do him right, like he could easily be one of the best LRs in the game because we've seen that they often follow specific trends with certain characters. So like Gogeta's very often have super effective against all types. Vegito's very often have counters, all that kind of stuff. Janemba, has things like guard, which if you're an LR with LR stats, having guard, he's going to be like one of the best defensive units in the game, potentially.
And big bad bosses.
Dodge.
Big bad bosses, dodge.
Dodge.
I think one thing new that they could introduce them is we know Gogeta got the nullification against physical type super attacks. Now Janemba brings up that little like dimension portal thing.
Dimension portal thing.
Yep.
when
A
you punch
key
it.
blast.
Yeah.
That could also be something that we could see him have, like nullification to key blast super attacks, which would be very powerful, of course.
That'd be
Super
insane,
assist
yeah.
as well.
I
mean, there's some. Yeah, go ahead.
just want to say, I really want to see, because no other Janembas have that. I really want to see an animation that actually has that weird, like, blocky teleportation, like, thing that he does. Like, we don't have any animations of that in the game yet. I really, really want to see that.
Yeah, that would be really cool for them to do. I don't know if they do it right away. We'll see if they do. And I'm sure he'll be the first one to have the weapon. Well, the new unit to have the weapon super attack, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe they'll do something with that. I don't know. I just think like they could just make him all defensive. Give him guard, give him dodge, and then stack defense, like massively stack defense every super. Like just why not?
Massively.
So,
It hits you really hard. Let's
That'd
just
be
throw
pretty
that on
good.
there too. Yeah.
yeah,
I would
so
like
he-
that, honestly. Just
So,
make him.
so God event will do like single digit damage to him if it runs that long enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just make
Why
him
not?
make him crush these new super ESBR stages like movie bosses,
the body and mind.
transformation boost as well. Like that would be pretty good.
I need Crow to body and mind help out here, please.
I would prefer him to be a transformation boost leader personally. I think it would be good for like just his leader skill.
I can agree with that.
Really good.
Yeah, I feel like because the existing Corroded Body and Mind leader is a Janemba, so obviously he'll be on the category, but I
Yeah,
don't
he'll be
know
in the
if
category,
necessarily
so-
He'll be on the
the
category.
lead,
Yeah. Remember.
But yeah, I feel like he's in a position where he's one of those characters that because he's not on a ton of categories, I feel like that could then lend more towards them making him incredibly powerful because obviously there's only a few teams that you can run him on. Whereas obviously you get a unit that's on like, like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan who's on like 20 categories. You kind of have to maybe not make him super crazy because then he just ends up being on every single team. Whereas obviously Janemba...
And then destroying everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas Janemba's not on a ton
Yeah.
of categories. So that could potentially work in his favor for him being incredibly powerful.
What I want to know is what typing do you guys think he'll be?
Yeah, I was gonna
think
ask that next.
Yeah, I'm leaning like towards AGL,
AGL?
but maybe physical.
Physical.
I was going to say...
my
I
betting.
don't
Betting's
have
physical.
a physical Janemba yet.
I was going to say
So that's why I'm,
AGL
like,
as well,
thinking
because I think it
physical.
was...
Yeah.
Was it Sunblade? Sunblade tweeted it, I think, but I can't remember if somebody else mentioned it as well. But on there's no extreme AGL LRs that have fierce battle.
I think Truth was mentioning that too.
Yeah.
'Cause, like that would make sense, and I feel like Extreme AGL as a typing would really benefit from like another LR, like really good unit. Because I feel like compared to like Extreme Physical, doesn't really need it as much as like AGL would want. But I feel like since we don't have a physical Janemba, that definitely would make sense. If he's AGL, I guess thematically, the Gogeta unit would have type advantage against him. So you don't know.
He's good-
For all we know,
well,
he could be
he's-
STR.
I mean, he's a Gogeta unit. He'll have type advantage against everyone, anyways, right?
Period.
So
yeah, but I mean, like in terms of just like tech, stronger.
yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
AGL.
I know what you mean, but overall, he's got this. That's why he's the superior fusion, guys. Just letting that out.
Oh,
Everyone know that.
Okay.
controversial.
Okay, buddy. we
Love
don't
that.
have to go there.
Love this guy.
Wow.
Yeah, I honestly think AGL. I mean, we have an AGL Janemba, right? It's the SR,
Like,
the
the
fat
SR
one.
It'd be
that-
cool if they awaken him.
I was gonna say that too, because he rainbow he changes rainbow, right? Key spheres,
Does he? He
or was it
might
AGL
actually,
key
huh?
sphere? I know he changes orbs. I just can't remember what. So if someone want to look that up.
I brought it up. He changes. I think it's physical to AGL.
Okay, so he makes AGL key spheres. I mean, that's not a bad. If they awaken him, like maybe that'd be pretty cool. I mean, because they have. When's the last time they awakened an SR to a TUR?
I think
Was
I don't
it was the
remember.
physical
It was like a
skinny
long
boo,
time
I
ago.
think.
Physical skinny boo. I think
Physical
yeah.
Sonic Boo.
And that
Yeah,
was like
so, like,
years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a year. I think wasn't that last worldwide? Maybe that's what it was. I can't remember.
I think it was before then.
Yeah, I think it was before then.
Was it?
Oh,
with,
you know
like,
what it was?
STR
It was
Super Boo?
for Golden Week for JP last year. That's what it was. When
Oh,
the
right,
exchange boo came by. I remember that. But you know, I honestly, because everyone pulls SRs, they at this point bobbing them. Like, why not give them some usefulness and make them a TUR, right? So if they made that Janemba, the AGL one, into a TUR, maybe he changes one key sphere into AGL, another one into Rainbow. Like, that would be a pretty good thing, right?
I mean, recently they just have been shoving us like a rainbow key sphere unit, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Like
so
we got like what 4 in the past 2 months or something.
So yeah,
Yeah, like-
lots of crazy stuff going on. The Tanabata festival or celebration in general has been pretty good, would you say, for JP? There's all these AZAs. Obviously, the new Gogeta is insanely good. Super Battle Road stages, Part 2 LR on the way. Just overall, from what we've experienced so far, what are your thoughts on the Tanabata celebration as a whole? Just to lead us out here.
A
For
solid
me, it's
8.
Solid 8.
solid
was
8.
that?
Yeah, I give it a 9.5. It's like one of the best Tanabatas I've had since the game's been out. So, lots of content, lots of new stuff to do. Units were good. There's nothing else to say. It was really, really good. So,
I
what do
agree.
you think, Minato?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's like a 9.5. Obviously, I wouldn't say it's a perfect celebration. I don't really think but there's so many stuff we got. We got like all these Super Battle Road stages, all these EZAs, even rainbow tickets, Porungo wishes. It's just so much content that they brought
No,
to the game.
I'll
which
give
is
it a
really
9 because World
nice.
Tournament's coming. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we're getting a new
9.
baton battle too. And we're getting that World Tournament LR as well.
Yeah.
Which actually
Yeah.
might be in this data download too, because the World Tournament's on next weekend, I think.
This coming up weekend, yeah.
So even more
Yay.
stuff on the horizon. Yeah, good old World Tournament. So yeah, I think Truth referred to it as this in one of his recent videos, but it really is Dokkan Christmas at the moment because the Tanabata Festival or JP is really, really good. You heard it here, a solid 8 to 9.5 across the board. And obviously Global is in the middle of the anniversary, which even if you didn't get particularly lucky on the banners, has been pretty hype in terms of the sheer amount of content and everything that is going on. So pretty good time to be playing Dokkan Battle, and there's plenty more things to come even in the next week or so. So obviously stay tuned. We'll have plenty more stuff to talk about in the next episode as well. So with that, we are going to bring episode 42 to a close. I want to give a big shout out to the guests for today, Jphanta, Nolar, Minato, and Saito Raijin. I have been the Masked Ningen. You've been the audience. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed having you here, and we will see you all again next time. Peace out.